Hi everyone, Catherine here from Inky Fingered Cat. I am back with another card making process video using the Indigo Blu magazine set. So last year I took a Crafter's Companion magazine and I filmed loads of videos showing you me using up the magazine kit. Then I bought this magazine with the intention of doing the same, and then I've made one card months ago and I haven't touched it since. So I was determined, pick it up, get some crafting done. And so I have made a card. It's a simple one. It's not a long video, as you'll have seen. Really simple. So these printed elements, I tend to back them on some scrap of cardstock because it makes it easier for fussy cutting if you want them to kind of lift up off the page. I always find it a bit easier, so I just use Pritt Stick, and then I'm going to glue it down, smooth it out, and then go and cut it out. Does that make sense? That's how I tend to do that. So I am going for dead simple. I am going to use the paper that's in the kit, and you'll see there that I am actually using one of the pages. You get 2 of each page, I think, which has got all the sentiments and the cut aparts on one side. But I really like that kind of inky background that had been created. But I'm just going to slightly elevate it. Just slightly elevate it. And it's clearly a very mixed media type of papers and designs. Indigo Blu, quite often quite artsy looking. And I really love their designs. I don't use a huge amount of Indigo Blu stuff, I don't think. But, you know, sometimes I do. So I use the stencil that's in the magazine kit and ran it through my die cutting using the embossing mat, you know, the light rubbery mat, to give it an impression. Now, it is only paper, it's not cardstock, but also my little stencil had got a bit of sticky tape on, I didn't realise, and it was slightly lifting the paper. It won't matter on the final card, but yeah, I was like, oh, eek. I then, whilst the stencil was still in place, I inked it up using some dark navy ink, and then did the same with just the mount that is just that lighter colour of the pattern paper. I just used it to sort of mount it. Now, I have got these, we've called them boingers, they're called motion springs from Kingston Crafts. I got them as part of my design team stuff, but I love them because they just make everything so cute. And it just gives it both dimension and a little bit of an action with, it's sort of like, well, yeah, boinger is a really good word for it. I can't think of another way of saying it, but it just gives movement to the elements. But without too much dimension, so it does like fold flat. I then added a little bit of stamping in the background of the words that are on the stamp set. Now, this particular set does not come with birthday or standard greetings. They tend to be sort of slightly more art generally. So I've just used them in the background, and I'm going to instead use a foiled and die cut sentiment from my stash just to add that. Now, I had this little scrap of grey sort of crochet trim. I added that to the front. I used tape underneath it, but then I used the tiny attacher just to keep it in place. And then this was me trying to work out, what do I want to do in terms of the card? So first of all, I decided, yes, I wanted that mount of the navy. Again, that's just been pulled from my scraps. And then I decided to pop it on a craft card blank because I thought that kind of went with the artsy look to it. I don't know if you agree, but that's what I think. Obviously, it being a card blank that's coloured, I do tend to always do something on the inside anyway, even if it's just a white panel. This year, I'm trying to make a little bit more of an effort with my insides. So on this case, I have added that little strip of the pattern paper. I'm going to add that in, and then I'm just going to do a little bit of rough stamping of that sentiment just over it. And then I decided to grab my glitter glues. So these are Kingston Crafts glitter glues. Actually, some of them aren't, but some of them are Kingston Crafts ones in the Kingston Crafts holder, which is how I store them. And I added some teal spots to the background, and then I added the clear glitter over the bee wings just to make them shimmer. And that is my card done. So I told you, quick and simple. Good to get back to this magazine kit. I can imagine I'm going to use it more now. I'm back in my room properly. Everything's out. It's ready. It's there and easy to grab. So Hopefully there'll be more in this series to come than just the 2 cards that there is now. And don't forget to go back and check out that the Crafter's Companion magazine that I've done this with before. But I really like that with a little bit of texture, bit of the words stamping. Perfect. Thanks for watching. Till next time. Bye bye.